Hi everyone, welcome to Nasi Lemak's live session today on TikTok community guidelines. Most young people these days use TikTok on a daily basis, including me, but do really know all the rules regarding what we can upload, stream, and share. Are we following and watching the right content on TikTok? In order to maintain an inclusive and supportive community, TikTok has 10 main community guidelines. Our group will present them to you so we can contribute to making a safer society within TikTok. If you have any remarks or questions, please leave them in the comment section and we'll reply to you right away. We hope the session will be enjoyable for you. Admin will be the first one to present.
Hi guys, my name is Eamon, so I would like to present about the violence extremism. So the TikTok take a firm stance against enabling violence on or off TikTok. The TikTok do not allow people to use their platform to threaten or incite violence, or to promote violence extremist organization, individuals or acts. When there is a threat to public safety or an account is used to promote or glorify off-platform violence, the TikTok will ban the account quickly. When warranted, TikTok's community will report the threat to relevant legal authority in Malaysia or other country. To effectively protect their community, which is TikTok community, they may consider off-platform behavior to identify violence extremist organizations and individuals on their platform. If the TikTok finds such or individuals, they will ban their account. The TikTok consider incitement to violence as advocating for directing or encouraging other people to commit violence. They do not allow threat of violence or incitement to violence on their platform that may result in serious physical harm. For example, do not post, upload, stream, or share about the statement of intent to inflict physical injury on an individual or group. And the second, statement or imagery that encourage others to commit or that advocate for violence. And the third, conditional or aspirational statements that encourage other people to commit violence. And the last, call to bring weapon to a location with the intent to intimidate or threaten an individuals or group with violence. So the next slide is about dangerous art and challenge. The TikTok do not permit users to share contents that depicting, promoting, normalizing, or glorifying dangerous art that may lead to serious injury or death. The TikTok also do not allow contents which promote or endorse collective participation in dangerous or harmful activity that violates any aspect of community guidelines. The TikTok defines dangerous art or other dangerous behavior as activity conducted in a non-professional context or without the necessary skill and safety precaution that may lead to serious injury or death for the user or the public. These include amateur stunts or dangerous challenge. For example, do not post, upload, stream, or share about the contents that show the potentially inappropriate use of dangerous tool or object. And the second, contents that depict dangerous driving behaviors. And the third, contents that depict or promote ingesting substances that are not means for consumption and could lead to severe harm. And lastly is contents that describe or provide instructional details on how to perform a dangerous activity such as dangerous games, play, challenge, or stunts that might lead to injury or property damage.
Hi, I'm Eng Sheng-Yi, and now I would like to share with you some TikTok community guidelines. When we use TikTok application, minor safety is one of the guidelines we need to follow up. Minor is the users to those below the age of 18. As we need to take care of their immediate mind, we need to prohibit activities that perpetrate the abuse, harm, endangerment, or exploitation of minors on TikTok. Any content, including animation or digitally created or manipulated media, that device abuse, exploitation, or endangerment of minors is a violation on TikTok and will be removed when detected. For example, if someone shares the prohibited contents on TikTok TikTok will report child sexual abuse material (CSAM) and supporting evidence to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children (NCMEC) and to any additional relevant legal authorities. Then, we must take care of the integrity and authenticity in TikTok. TikTok do not allow activities that may undermine the integrity of TikTok or the authenticity of the users. TikTok removes content or accounts that involve spam or fake engagement, impersonation, or misleading information that causes significant harm. First, the issue impersonation always happens in TikTok. TikTok do not allow accounts that pose as another person or entity in a deceptive manner. When TikTok confirms a report of impersonation, it may ask the user to revise the profile or may ban the account. Besides that, misinformation is also easily to spread in TikTok, since TikTok users have increased rapidly over the years. Misinformation is defined as content that is inaccurate or false. TikTok will remove this misinformation that causes significant harm to individuals, community, or the larger public regardless of intent. Significant harm includes serious physical injury, illness, or death, severe psychological trauma, large-scale property damage, and the undermining of public trust in civic institutions and processes such as government, election, and scientific bodies. If we have the issues of impersonation or spread disinformation, our TikTok accounts will be banned in order to create a peaceful environment for TikTok. So, how to maintain a peaceful environment in TikTok? First of all, we can't post and share misinformation that incites hate or prejudice and related to the emergencies that induce panic. Secondly, we don't allow content that misleads community members about election or other civic processes. Besides, we need to avoid to post as another person or entity by using someone else's name, biographical details, or profile picture in a misleading manner. Lastly, we have to keep away from engaging in coordinated, inauthentic behavior such as the use of multiple accounts to exert influence and sway public opinion while misleading individuals, community, or the system about the account's identity, location, relationship, popularity, or purpose.
Hey everyone, I'm Ivan. Now let us move to the next TikTok community guidelines, which is adult nudity and sexual activities. TikTok strives to create a platform that feels welcoming and safe. They do not allow nudity, pornography, or sexually explicit content on their platform. They also prohibit content depicting or supporting non-consensual sexual acts, the sharing of non-consensual intimate imaginary, and adult sexual solicitation. So, how do TikTok define nudity? According to their community guidelines, nudity and sexual activity include content that is overtly revealing of breasts, genitals, anus, buttocks, or behavior that mimic, imply, or display sex acts. So, you should say no to the contents that shows, solicits, encourages, normalizes, or glorifies non-consensual sexual activities, including rape and sexual assaults, sexual images that are taken, created, or shared without consent, sexual violence, offering or seeking sexual partners, and sexual service, premium sexual contents, or sex scamming. Also, content that explicitly or implicitly depicts the sexual activities including penetrative and non-penetrative sex, oral sex, and erotic kissing should be avoided. Content that depicts sexual arousal or sexual stimulation, a sexual fetish, genitals, buttocks, or the pubic region, or female nipples contain sexually explicit language for sexual gratification should be also avoided. Besides, another TikTok community guidelines that you should know is platform security. A top priority of TikTok is the safety and security of their users, creators, business partners, vendors, and employee data, including their personal information, accounts, profiles, content, and other proprietary information. Any attempt to undermine or abuse the security, integrity, or reliability of their platform, products, or services is expressly prohibited. You should not attempt to access the TikTok platform in an unauthorized manner, and do not create fake or misleading versions of the TikTok platform. Second, you should not create or distribute malicious file, content, or messages that contain viruses, Trojan horses, worms, logic bombs, or other materials that may be harmful to the community or the platform. Third, use automated scripts, web crawling, software deceptive techniques, or any other way to attempt to obtain, acquire, or request login credentials or other sensitive information, including non-public data from TikTok or its user. Also, you should not leverage TikTok accounts under false pretenses to distribute spam, phishing, or smishing content in an attempt to penetrate cybercrime or gain unauthorized access to others' account, content, system, or data. You should not modify, adapt, translate, reverse engineer, deassemble, decompile, or create any deviate products based on TikToks, including any files, tables, or documentation, or attempt to regenerate any source code, methods or techniques embodied in TikTok. Lastly, you should not provide any access to your account credentials to others or enable others to conduct activities against our community guidelines. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sabine, and I'll explain the policies regarding suicide, self-harm, and disorder eating. TikTok will remove content that features suicide, involves suicidal ideation, or that could incite suicidal or self-injurious behavior, even though they encourage members of our community to share their personal experiences with these issues in a safe way to spread awareness and find community support. They also take down material that shows suicide attempts or actions that might result in suicide by self-infliction. Any incident of a particular and impending threat to endanger human life in the actual world may be reported to law enforcement officials. Content that supports or promotes self-harm or suicide hoaxes is likewise prohibited. This contains ominous warnings that may set off a panic and inflict significant damage. Regarding disorder eating, the platform does not allow anything that encourages unhealthy eating habits or activities that might have a negative impact on one's health. This includes engaging in a harmful body measuring challenges, offering advice or coaching on disorder eating, and creating content that expresses the desire for an eating disorder. Next is hateful behavior. Discrimination is not tolerated in a diverse and inclusive TikTok community. They will delete from the platform any content that engages in hateful conduct or contains hate speech. Users or accounts that commit serious or repeated hate speech offenses or who are connected to hate speech will be banned from TikTok. All slurs on TikTok will be removed in order to reduce the spread of egregiously offensive phrases unless they are appropriated, used self-referentially by individuals belonging to the protected group, or used in a manner that does not disparage others, for example, education content. The following are examples of contents that will be removed due to the violation of the community guidelines. Content that portrays people or groups with protected characteristics as criminals, animals, inanimate objects, or other non-human entities, or that implies their moral depravity. Content that encourages or justifies violence, exclusion, segregation, or discrimination against them. Content that misgenders or that names transgender or non-binary people. Content that shows damage being done to a person or a group because of a protected attribute. A part of hateful behavior is hateful ideology. Ideologies that openly hate people for their protected characteristics are considered to be hateful. The content that encourages them will be taken down since they are incompatible with the inclusive and supportive community that TikTok offers. So do not post, upload, stream, or share content that promotes any hateful ideology such as white supremacy, misogyny, anti-LGBTQ, anti-Semitism, or advertises conversion therapy or related program. Content that denies well-documented and violent events has taken place affecting groups with protected attributes such as Holocaust denial, claims of supremacy over a group of people, and conspiracy theories used to justify hateful ideologies. That is all for me. Now, Mei Ning will present the last two community guidelines.
I'm Mei Ning, and I'm gonna share about the bullying and harassment. We believe in an inclusive community and individual expression without fear of abuse. We do not tolerate members of our community being shamed, bullied, or harassed. Abusive content or behavior can cause severe psychological distress and will be removed from our platform. Abusive behavior. We remove expressions of abuse, including threats of degrading statements intended to mock, humiliate, embrace, intimidate, or hurt an individual. This prohibition extends to the use of TikTok features. To enable expressions about matters of public interest, critical comments of public figures may be allowed. However, serious abusive behavior against public figures is prohibited. Stop abusive behavior. Do not post, upload, stream, or share about the content that encourages coordinated harassment, the content that disparages victims of violence tragedies, and last, the content that depicts willful harm or intimidation such as cyberstalking or trolling. Next, sexual harassment. Sexual harassment involves unwanted or inappropriate sexual behavior directed at another individual. We do not allow content that glorifies, normalizes, or promotes sexual harassment, regardless of the user's intent. Do not post, upload, stream, or share about the content that attempts to make unwanted sexual contact, the content that disparages another person's sexual activity, and the content that exposes or threatens to expose a person's sexual orientation without their consent. And next, threats of hacking, doxing, and blackmail. Threatening to hack or dox with an intent to harass or blackmail another individual can cause serious emotional distress and other offline harm. We define doxing as the act of collecting and publishing personal data or personally identifiable information (PII) for malicious purposes. We consider these online behaviors as forms of abuse and do not allow them to enter our platform. Stop the threats. Do not post, upload, stream, or share about the content that threatens to blackmail an individual or to hack an individual's account. The content that incites or encourages others to hack or reveal another person's account, personal data, or personally identifiable information (PII), and an individual's account, personal data, or personally identifiable information to encourage others to abuse, troll, or harass that individual. Next, I'm going to share about the copyright and trademark infringement. Copyright is a legal right that protects original works of authorship, such as music or videos, and original expression of an idea, such as the specific way a video or music is expressed or created, although it does not protect underlying ideas or facts. A trademark is a word, symbol, slogan, or design that identifies and distinguishes the source of the product or service. We encourage everyone to create and share original content. Content that infringes someone else's intellectual property rights is prohibited on our platform and will be removed if we become aware of it. The use of copyrighted work under certain circumstances, such as the fair use doctrine or other applicable laws, or the use of a trademark to reference, lawfully comment, criticize, parody, make a fan page, or review a product or service may not be considered a violation of our policies. Do not post, upload, stream, or share about the content that violates or infringes someone else's copyrights, trademarks, or other intellectual property rights.
To conclude, in order to create a secure environment where users may interact and have fun, community guidelines are crucial for setting behavior standards on the platform. Also, it is crucial to have well-defined community guidelines and moderation procedures to prevent any dispute from turning into a full-on crisis by making it clear what is and is not acceptable on your TikTok accounts. We have reached the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you can safely use TikTok in the future.